Fantastic. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming today. Like Andrew said, I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about the type of mindset that you're going to need to employ as you go on your Formula Student journey. Just to give you a bit of an overview, though, this was me, 2002. I sat exactly where you sat right now. So I was one of you. I was part of my Formula Student team. Went on straight away afterwards to become a cost judge, progressed up the route on that one and became head of cost. And as Andrew said, I now look after the special projects team within the committee. So we're doing all the exciting stuff, like unlimited runs, like the hot seat that we do, some of the podcast things and everything else that's there. I've also attended plenty of the other events, Italy, Germany, America. I also went out to the Japanese event as well. So I've got a fair broad example of what Formula Student looks like. Okay, so what's mindset? What are we actually talking about when we say mindset? Well, it's an established set of attitudes held by someone, plain and simple. But there's two areas we're going to focus on today, particularly important for the journey that you're going to go on over the next 12 months. A winning mindset and a protective mindset, equally as important as each other. So first of all, we're going to talk a little bit about the winning mindset. This is a good example of teams that we have, okay? So all these people, all these teams display winning in different ways. But they do have a common set of goals and a common set of traits that you'll see throughout that winning journey. First of all, they're lean and they're focused on goals. Every single ounce of work that they do towards their end goal counts to that end goal, okay? There's no waste in there. This is something that you are going to have to work with because your most precious resource that you're going to have in the next 12 months is your time. They're resilient. They are determined. They will continue and absolutely focus on their end goal. Resilience and determination are absolutely key. Teamwork and diversity. Now, I used to be a bit of a loner. I used to go, I'm going to do this. I can do it all on my own. I realized I was an idiot. Okay, teamwork, and especially in Formula Student, is vital. You cannot build a car on your own. Diversity is a new concept for me as well, because again, I used to surround myself with people that were like me, thought the same, acted the same. You're missing out on so much of an opportunity if people have a different perspective, a different way of thinking, and a different way of achieving the end goals. So embrace the diversity. In fact, we're going to be doing a podcast on this at Aston Martin next month where we're talking about this very issue and how Formula One teams are embracing diversity to basically open up that last % of performance. Accuracy is really important. They're also relentless. And they also chase marginal gains. Really, really important. And the most important thing that you need to do is just begin. Just start operating like this. So some positive attributes that we can do, as we said, attention to details. Creativity is really important. You're going to be up against lots of other teams that are doing things in a very similar way. You need to set yourself out and become different to what the norm is. This is especially important when you start going out into industry and start competing for jobs. You've got to show how different you are. Cheat, okay? Now, this is where IMechE get really etchy angst with me because telling you guys to cheat is probably not the type of thing that they want to hear, but it's really, really important. You're going to have to push the boundaries. A great example of this is one of the naval fighter units, the unit that actually filmed all the original Top Gun. They're actually called the Puking Dogs. Their motto is, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Okay, so you've got to be pushing those boundaries and really getting in there. And maybe, sometimes you have to think about the rules that you can bend. Don't ask for permission, okay? You've probably operated in an environment in academia where everything is rule set. Okay, and you have to get permission to go into the labs and to do this. You're now entering the world where you've just got to do it and you've got to own it and have those own set of responsibilities for yourself. Plan and don't plan, that sounds ridiculous, but actually planning is really important because you want to have your Gantt chart and everything you're following, but also trust yourself for those reactive moments when you want to trust your gut a little bit. So develop that skill set. Also be commercial. This is really important. So I'm going to say this because I come from a cost background. But when you get out into industry, your engineering skills are always going to be tempered with accountants that are going to be challenging you. So learn those commercial skills now. I think it'd be really valuable for you in the future. Embrace your differences. And the most important one is failing and getting up. You are going to fail loads. That is, we're still winning, okay? But it's the important thing is you get up after it. And here's what AA believe to be the image with that. I don't know what the guy holding the frog's doing behind the beauty stuff, but apparently Elon Musk think that that is relevant to cheating. So there you go. Okay, what do I wish I knew when I did Formula Student? Time management and goal management. You are going to hear this all day. Time, plan ahead, build the car. It ain't what you don't know that gets you into trouble. It's what you know for sure that just ain't so. And the reason I know that is I've done this a long time now, and I know you guys will get to a month before the event and you'll be maxed out, okay? So please try and mitigate that as far as you can. It's part of the learning curve, but time management is the key critical thing that I want you to take away from this. Think differently, okay? You're engineers, you're not art students, okay? We want you to think differently and lead this country moving forward. It starts now. You can nurture that and develop that muscle memory in your brains. This is what we're after in Formula Student as well. Build trust in each other and use that trust, again, back to the teamwork. Plan the unimportant stuff. It's really important that you guys bond as a team and trust each other. So you've got to plan these things in. Go on your karting events. Go on your nights out. Plan that beer at the end of the day down in the student union. Really, really important. Work fast and think slow, but work safe. Now, this can vary. This works for me, okay? The quantity of work that you're going to be doing, you've got to work through that fast. But I'm always trying to slow my thought process down to make sure that the next thing is done correctly and it minimizes repeat work and errors, okay? That works for me, but find your own version of that. Have one eye on the future. If you get to 11 p.m. on the Sunday night at Formula Student and you do not have a job to go to, you have failed, okay? You need to be putting out now to everybody out there your skills and your skill sets. Can I just have a show of hands? You've all printed your CVs, you've got them with you today, right? Who's got them? Okay, it's exactly what I expected. Upstairs are a load of Formula One engineers, okay, that are recruiting. Anything that you go to now, you go prepared. You have your CV, you have your stump speech ready for why you're the best and you want hiring. Okay, so when you meet these people, you are pitching for that job. They need to remember you, your name, so that when their application hits the desk, I've met them, I trust them. All right, get that into your mindset now that you're doing it. Smile and have fun. Okay, you are going to be tested. It's going to be a very stressful experience, this, so you've got to make sure that you're on the right side of it. Plan your sleep, just as important. Health. Trust me, you'll be more effective if you think about these things up front. Admit when you need help and embrace it. Don't punish others that open up and ask for help. And knowledge transfer. It's incumbent on you to make sure that everything you've learned this year is passed to next year's team. This is why it fails. And think about the frustrations you have now about starting from scratch and what you would have had if you'd had a bank of 10 years of data. Really, really important. Now, one thing I can recommend is this book by Rory Sutherland. You will have seen him on some of TikToks and things. He is a marketeer by trade, but some of the things that he talks about are really interesting and promote thinking differently. I'm not going to spoil the book for you, but there is one thing that he says in there that I think is really important. The opposite of a good idea is still a good idea. And I want you to think about that in the context of what you're building in your Formula Student car and change your thinking a little bit. So I'll give you an example. Coca-Cola, cheap product, bright can, lots of product in there, a good idea, sells really well. So the opposite of that would be a small can, very expensive, that tastes awful. Unfortunately, that's Red Bull, which is absolutely a brilliant idea and still a commercial success. So the opposite of a good idea is still a good idea. Okay? So have a think about that. In fact, I've got a spare copy of the book here. Would anyone like this? So you want me to bring it to you? Thank you. This is what you need to do, right? It ain't coming to you, okay? Nobody's coming to save you in this. You have got to get out there and be the first to it and grab it with both hands, because you're competing against each other. We're still a family. We're still going to support each other when it counts, but you are in competition with them now, okay? Just start, all right? You can plan and plan and plan, but nothing is going to beat just starting. It's a competition, and only your mum cares if you lose, all right? We're at the cutting edge of it now, and we need to change our mindset. We're not in academia anymore where, you know, a pass is okay. We are going for the win. Simplify and add lightness. Now, I have a lot of issues with Colin Chapman, mainly bankrupting DeLorean, but simplifying and add lightness is the best mantra that you can take for everything that you're doing with your car, because time management is another issue. Don't ask for permission, just get started. Be lean. Innovate and create is really important. Don't be afraid to step backwards to go forwards. If you find yourself going down a dead end, really important that you turn around and think about it and go, right, I've wasted some time, but the worst thing I can do is waste more time. Keep asking yourself, why am I doing this and how can I do it better? So, that being said now, I've told you that no one loves you but your mum. I need to now protect you a little bit, because this is going to be a stressful period. So what's going to stop you? And there is only one single thing that will stop you in this. You. It's the only variable you can control in this world. How you think, what goes on. So we need to make sure before you do anything else, we put your oxygen mask on first. It's really, really important. Self-care isn't an option, it's a necessity. Now, why is that? Well, all these little things are going to be bouncing around in your mind: anxiety, stress, post-traumatic stress disorder, especially if a 50-pence washer fails in the endurance and you go out on the last lap. Trust me on this, okay? But don't worry, because all those things are in your head. It's all in your head. That's one of the most toxic things anyone can say to you, though, okay? The biggest cause of death in males aged between 20 to 49 is suicide. Therefore, statistically, if I was to die in the next couple of years, statistically, it would be because I take my own life. We cannot allow that anymore. We all need to protect each other, and this is where you're not in competition with each other. You look out for each other here, just as you will do for future years, just as I do for you now. And you have that incumbent on you in future years as well, and anyone else that's out there. So how can we do that? We seek help. Now, what does help look like? Well, first of all, we have to understand it a little bit, and there's all these frustrations and what we want and the fears of achieving it, and you can go into those, and frankly, you're smart people, you know what those look like. The biggest one you are going to face is the cliff edge that comes at 11 p.m. on the Sunday night after FS, okay? You are going to be working so hard. When I did Formula Student, I didn't see my parents for 9 months. I was 7 days a week to the max, okay? You need to prepare for that, and one of the preparations for that is you have a job to go to. You have the next thing ready, loaded, ready to fire. Be very mindful of that. Find the right balance in what you're doing for Formula Student all the way through the year, okay? Some protective toolkits, professionals, counselling, neurolinguistic programming, cognitive behaviour therapy. Let me put my teeth in. Absolutely brilliant. I do it. Can't recommend it enough. I should have done it earlier. I will continue doing it forever. It's not just for when you have a problem. The best way to fix a broken engine, don't let it break in the first place. Service it. It's exactly the same for your head. Okay? Think about this and maybe see if you could embrace it. Some of your universities have free services. Go and use it. You're paying for them. You might as well get your money's worth. There's also medical professionals, GP, drop-in locations, whatever's good for you. Self-help, mindfulness, meditation, education. There's loads of resources on the internet. Also, the podcast that we do is starting to touch into that. I mentioned we're doing one on Aston Martin about diversity, inclusion, and neurodiversity is such an important one that we're embracing now as well. Couple of books that you would like. The Chimp Paradox is life-changing. Please read that. I read that, and all of a sudden I had that epiphany moment. Oh, that's why I do that. Okay, the guy who wrote this is the mind coach for British cycling. If you hadn't noticed, they're quite successful. So it comes with some really good backing. The other one, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. I could highly recommend that. Again, I, Mickey, get very twitchy when I mention that word, but I put it to you, anybody that gets twitchy with that hasn't existed in a Formula Student workshop the month before competition. I've got one of those books if anyone wants it. Now we're learning. Excellent. Okay, I'm down to my last 3 minutes. So, I want to talk and summarise a little bit with the right mindset, my take on a good life and general health and well-being. Things are never as bad as they seem, all right? Promise you. When you think it's bad, it's okay. You will get there, and lean on other people. Life is not fair. Things are going to happen to you that just don't seem right. It's tough. You've got to get through it. That's what it is. They're the cards you've been dealt. You can mitigate that to a certain degree, though. You're doing that now, okay? You are giving yourself the best chance to get the jobs that you want by doing this event. So you already are mitigating. There's normally always a solution or a fix to the problem. Very rarely is there no way out. And you're engineers. That's your nature. You fix problems. And they're not always technical problems, by the way. Conflict is wasted energy and emotion, same as worry is. Easy to say, very hard to apply that in the real world. I get into conflict, I get into worry. You just have to recognise what it is and try and get out of it as quickly as possible in the most productive way for all parties. Best solution is just to start. The solution will present itself when you get going. Absolutely will. And you lot are way smarter than you think you are. Okay? Imposter syndrome is rife with engineers, and you'll have it all the way through your career. I still get it now. I talk to people who get it now as well. You are smart people. The reason you got selected to be here justifies that. Over-planning is as bad as under-planning. Again, 2 positives, 2 negatives. You've got to try and get the right balance with that. Regret is a cancer that, left unchecked, will grow to be very harmful. This comes with a massive warning. Just because I've said that doesn't mean that you should build a full aero package, 4-wheel torque vectoring on your first year car. Because if I don't, John said I'll regret it. Balance that a little bit with common sense as well, all right? The ear of a good professional to talk through your issues, worries and concerns cannot be overrated. And I'm going to leave you with 2 other thoughts. The darkest moment of night is right before the dawn. It will get better. It always does. And everything's going to be okay in the end. And if it's not okay, it's not the end. All right? Welcome to the family. Good luck with your event. And I'll see you all at Silverstone.